Hi there. Welcome to the Women's Empowerment segment on Edge Radio TV Network. I'm your host, Nicole Giddens. I have my beautiful co-host here, Elle Brooke White. And today we have Maru McMahon. She is a mom, first and foremost. She is an author. She is now a podcaster with the Maru Experience, and she's also a profit improvement partner. So we're very welcome to the show. We're very glad to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
We've had you here before, but you've had a lot going on since then. So I'm so glad to have you back so we can talk about all the nitty gritty of what you've gotten yourself into. But I always like to start the show off with a little bit of an icebreaker. So these are theoretical icebreaker questions that I'm going to ask you, okay? All right, let's see. You want to answer them too?
Okay, shoot. I'll chime in.
If you could invite 3 people to dinner, living, dead, fictional, or real, who would they be? 3 people.
I'll let you take this one.
Oh my gosh. Since you involve dead people too, like I want my mom,
Yeah.
of course, and maybe again my mom.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
So I think, yeah, definitely. Loved ones, especially that the one you lost. And but from leaving, of course, I think like I would invite people who are leaders in my growth, and I feel like people who support my growth and understand my vision and mission. And I think like you have to build a relationship with people who build you up,
Right.
and kind of be surrounded with positivity.
So if you were going to pick a mentor to have, who would you pick?
Well, I mean, as of my current moment, I would pick 3 mentors. So one would be Sam, who is helping me with podcasts. Second one would be Eric Loveholm, who is kind of helping me, bringing up my confidence level up. And the third one would be Angela Aja, who actually helped me to write my book. So these 3 people actually this year alone helped me to grow tremendously. And I think if we want to learn, we need to surround ourselves with people. And of course, there are a lot of other people who are bringing different level value. But since we kind of literally sleep at the dinner table, But if I make a dinner, I would invite everyone. I'm more of that type of girl where I
The
even
more the
invite
merrier.
people.
That's me. Sure, your friends can come. Bring them.
You have such a good heart because I'm thinking Marilyn Monroe, like people like that. And she's like my mom, and I was just thinking, well, yeah, I would want my grandpa. What am I talking about? It's so cool that you thought of the loved ones that you have passed and everything. She's just got such a good heart. Love it. Who would you ask?
My best friend. She's in heaven.
Oh, gosh, you guys are killing me with this. Okay, we're going to move on to the next question before I start crying. Okay, this is perfect for you. If you had a paid year off of work, how would you spend it?
Wait.
So repeat again.
If you had a paid year off from work, how would you spend it?
Oh my gosh. I think I definitely would spend it with my family. And I think I would do a lot of reading. I just feel like I am so hungry for more knowledge. And I just love reading and learning and growing in different aspects of my life. Not just like one area, but like, how to be better mom or wife or friend or whatever. Like just grow in general and, how to have a even better relationship with God. That's another area to grow, right? Or like, I think in general, like even my daughter asked me that specific question. Mommy, when you retire, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to read books and maybe write books. And And she's like, what about? I said, I don't know. There's a lot to write about. It's just kind of knowing what you want to share. But I think with my experience, I learned the more I read, it makes me the better person. Because I read a lot of like other people's struggle. And I know that we don't take time to learn from other people's mistakes. But I think if we pay attention, we're all different in a way. I mean, different and at the same time we are the same in a way. Like we have similar struggles, similar even cultural. Like me coming from another country, originally being from Kazakhstan, and of course meeting people who are born and raised here.
Right.
You have same insecurity, same happiness, right? Same joy that kind of unite us as humans. So that's why I get so fascinated by learning more.
I'm thinking
I'm
vacation.
on the same level. I know. I was
Bahamas
thinking
first.
a drink on the beach.
Yeah.
But no.
She's like, I'm gonna read.
I'll read on the beach.
No, we're all different.
I am
mean,
the same though on the whole knowledge is power thing. I do love to learn a lot more about everything that I can. Definitely whatever industry I'm in, when I'm in it, I want to learn everything about it. So yeah, I am the same on that level.
And you can open up all the motivational books in the world, but if you don't really concentrate on meditating on what you're reading, you can close that book and not even think about it. I think it's a spiritual journey too when you dive into that type of literature. You know, you really got to pay attention. You know, a lot of people, they'll read the Bible and they'll just like sit it down and it's their ritual for the day, and then they close it up and they're not really thinking about, you know, what's set in.
Applying it,
Right.
Then that's what I said. Learning from other people's mistakes. So whenever I read book, I kind of like I guess maybe because I'm analytical in nature, like I'll break down and kind of figure out and try to apply to my pattern that I have had, you know, why this is happening, or maybe because, so it's kind of, for me, it's more of like a puzzle, right? I read and I try to apply and I take away good stuff, and of course, if it doesn't work for me, I don't apply it because we're all different. And going back to vacation, right? Of course, we all want vacation, but if you are a joyful person in general,
You're always on
you
vacation.
can, exactly.
That is true.
So I think maybe that was my perspective of vacation. You
That's
know,
true.
like I feel a lot of times people want to go on vacation because they want to escape to what's happening now and they don't want to deal with it. But if you kind of like happy with who I am, with good and bad, I mean, it's not going to be perfect all the time, right? But I think like you don't have to like go on vacation. Because I used to think like sometimes I felt like maybe I should just pack up and move somewhere. You know, there were moments like that. And then like my sister said, you can't run away from yourself.
That's right.
That opened up.
I've thought about it too.
Wherever you go, there you are.
Yes.
Exactly.
You know, gotta deal with yourself. Okay, let's see what else. If you could read one book, if you could read one book over and over for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I think definitely it's very hard to pick one specific book, but I think for me, I don't remember a title of the book exactly, but it was written by Rick Warren, kind of a spiritual growth. He was talking about what is I think it's called your life purpose. So for me, it was kind of opening up, like, you know, sometimes we live through life, but not many of us have purpose. When you have purpose, what I learned is you are just happy. Like, you are happy to wake up every morning. You're happy to go to work. Instead of taking it negatively, like, oh, another day, I have to be here, you know. So I think that book kind of like shifted my view, where like I don't even feel like packing up and moving anywhere, you know. So I guess being in touch with my purpose, that book helped me. And like you said, I read one chapter and I break it down. I don't read just to read it. I read each chapter and I in a way meditate on it. I read again and again, try to apply what works, and if there are areas when it doesn't make sense, I go for further research. Because like I said, for me, I'm maybe just different. I like to know my facts, and I call it searching for my own truth. Because whatever works for me may not work for you, right? So it's like making it work for me where I'm joyful and just content, I guess.
That's so cohesive to the concepts that you engage in your book that you wrote for the currencies of life and what your podcast is about. She has a holistic approach to finance, and it's so important. I think is we feel like we have a purpose. Whatever we're doing in business, we're going to watch how we're doing our financial spending or just in life because there's always something behind that. So let's start off first with the currencies of life, your book. Tell us a little bit about what drove you to write that.
Well, I think those questions you started with a perfect way to start actually, because like I said, I started my journey and I was one time that person that I was drifting through life. And when I say drifting, meaning like we all do what we think we should do, like get married, finish school and do that and go get the job and all kinds of like normal stuff. I would say normal because that's kind of how human brain works, right? That's the normal thing to have kids but as I started researching and getting into like, I think everything started after I lost my mother. I started questioning, is there another world? So the more I digged into it, there was so many unanswered questions. So I keep reading and reading and reading. And like I said, the more books I read, the more I surrounded with the right people, it kind of started having that clarity. And then, of course, the reason I called my book Currencies of Life because professionally, I was already helping businesses to reduce costs and improve processes, which is kind of eliminate wasteful activities, right? To improve. And then I said, okay, well, now I need to tie it to professionally what I'm doing and what I'm learning personally. And so that's kind of it was born as Currencies of Life. So in general, we have to look at everything like as one thing. Because what happens most of the time is we look at things separately. It's kind of like we have career separate, we have family separate, and we have us as separate, right? And then some people maybe we have, let's say if we go to church or something, we keep that separate. We only go one person.
Yeah,
right?
Like I dived into the holy water. I'm good. Okay, off to the races I go.
Yeah.
Well,
so
no,
I
it's
think
important.
for me, like I said, when I started putting the dots together, I just felt like the message for me was currencies of life. It's basically, when I say currency, where you put your value in. So if you put, it's kind of like you go to the bank, you put money in the bank, and then that if you put it the right investment, it grows, right? And if you put it in wrong investment, you lose money.
Right.
So similar concept. So if you want your, let's say your family, be happy and all that, then you need to keep that currency at the right manner. Same thing, you kind of take each part of your life and you make it as one. And that one connecting dot is your purpose. What do you like? What do you want to do? And nothing wrong with like some people wanting like big house or be a millionaire or help others. Nothing wrong. It's just who you are. Because I say in my book that we all brought to this earth with our individual purposes. And some people like tiny homes. They don't want to carry big bills, So there is no wrong or right way to do it. It's just what you want as a human. And stop, I guess, comparing yourself with others.
Oh, absolutely. And your relationship with money is very, very vital. I mean, there's people that can have a true romance going on with the dollar bill, and then you're not filling your soul. You keep trying to buy things and filling in that void, and nothing's happening. That shop therapy. People say it works, but does it really? But we're going to go on break, and when we come back, we're going to dive a little bit more into that and talk about the Maru Experience, her podcast that she just had out. You guys stay tuned. We'll see you in a minute.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Welcome back to the Women's Empowerment segment here on Edge Radio TV Network. We have Maru with the Maru Experience here. We were just talking about her book, Currencies of Life, and even comes with a study guide. That is so cool. I love that. So you're trying to teach people how to really meditate on the literature that you write, the same way you look at books. Where can they get this?
Oh, they can either email me at miru@yoursavingspro.com to request a copy, or they can go directly to Amazon and search up Currencies of Life by Miru.
And you also have a webinar coming up, right, on Monday?
Yeah, I have a webinar coming up where I'm teaching top 3 habits to building wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when I say wealth, it's not just money. It's
Right.
like you can apply those habits all around
Everyday life.
to make a happier life. I shouldn't say happy, but like joyful.
Right.
Like, I think happy is kind of a wrong way. Happy is like you never reach that happiness level, where if you're joyful, you kind of content with where you are.
Yeah.
And make best out of your situation.
I love that. We were talking about where you're from. Is Kazakhstan, or how do I say that? Kazakhstan?
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. What was it like living there as a little girl?
I think I grew up in like a smaller village, so I felt like I had this wonderful childhood because I didn't have to worry about like being abducted, and like I played outside, kind of like that kind of freedom.
That we
And
don't
then,
have
yeah.
anymore.
And then I think, and of course I didn't realize that freedom until I moved here. And when I started hearing all this abduction and horrible things.
How old were you when you moved here?
I was 26 when I
But
moved.
still, it was probably overwhelming
Yeah.
because it's so different.
You can
Yeah.
still get abducted. at
Oh yeah,
26,
26. They don't care.
Yeah.
They'll take you to.
Yeah. So I think that that kind of, I guess, gave appreciation for my childhood.
Yeah.
And of course, maybe if I still lived there, maybe I was like, oh, I would have been like spoiled, how we don't appreciate what we have.
True.
But I think, like I said, different cultural perspectives give a different level of appreciation because, like I said, I grew up not knowing a lot of things, just, being happy, playing, I didn't have a lot of things, but when you live a simple life, it seems like the most happiest.
It is.
Right? Because now I look at my kids, like so many things that kind of, I feel like
They shouldn't
it's
know
so
yet.
Yeah, it's so
That's
different.
so true, though. I
Yeah.
feel the same way about my kids. Their innocence is taken at a young age because there's
Yeah.
so much in society
I
that
didn't know.
it's just the news. They can't even watch the news without finding out stuff.
Oh, no,
Oh, yeah.
it's terrible.
No, it's
I don't
okay.
even watch the news.
I
I
don't
don't watch
either.
their news anymore.
Yeah,
Nope, not doing it.
It's sad.
So for the Meru Experience, your podcast, tell me how far you've gotten so far and what are the topics of discussion?
So the Meru experience kind of initially started, it was even before I had an idea to write a book. So initially I thought, you know what, I just want to teach people different perspectives, not necessarily teach, but share, right? So I wanted to I talked about my first episode, I talked about I'm not Chinese nor Russian. The thing is, because people look at me, like if I'm not talking, just passing by,
Right.
they're like, oh, she's from China. And then if I'm on the phone and they don't see how I look, then they assume like, oh, you have a Russian accent, are you Russian? So then I kept getting a lot of that. And then I thought, you know what, this will be a good topic to discuss. So that was my first, I guess, intention was just to educate people, my background, to teach people that there are other worlds, other places. And
Yeah, don't stereotype
yeah,
everybody.
Very
exactly.
true. Yeah.
And then I guess in the same episode, I talked about I think when I first moved here, I started filling out those forms like for immigration, and they asked for your race, like, your race, like
Mhm.
white, whatever. And then
You're like,
I was confused. Yeah, I was confused. And one of
I'm
those,
a mutt.
yeah.
it's like I don't know what to put.
Yeah. But one of the funny moments for me was, it's kind of like I always knew I'm Asian, but when when they give you option, you start questioning, who am I? And then I looked at my skin. Well, I think I'm white.
I know.
And then my husband said, no, you need to put Asian. And so I guess that was and then again in my podcast I kind of explained that in my home
That's funny.
country we fill in by nationality. So I'll say I'm a Kazakh, or if somebody is Russian, they will say Russian. So we were maybe, census were based on nationality.
Yeah, geographic.
Versus here, it's based on race.
Yeah.
And then and then I started, of course, analytical nature comes in, and I started researching, and I was surprised that I can actually pick 2 or 3 races
Yeah.
at the same time, which I could have done.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, if you wait,
I always just
legally?
pick.
Yeah, you can do white.
She
and
said
Asian.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think I,
I think
have
it's a
any more than
stupid
one.
question anyway.
Yeah.
I did,
It shouldn't matter.
Well, on in real estate and in property management, it's not on there. We can't
Yeah.
ask that. It's
Well,
for
you
fair
you
housing.
shouldn't.
So, I mean, in some places,
Yeah.
you
What
can't
does it
ask.
matter?
Well, I mean, like I said, it's just kind of those differences that I observed, and I kind of, in a way, it is funny because I had to kind of grow through that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, okay, now I'm Asian, now I know, kind of thing, like you kind of know, but you don't
You
really know,
don't
you
know.
don't talk about it.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, okay, I'm Asian, and that's when I kind of started making sense. And like, even I came from Central Asian country, it never occurred to label myself as Asian. You know what I mean?
Right.
So those are kind of discussion I lead. And then the more I got into it, like I started thinking again, everything kind of tied back. I started thinking, you know what? It's kind of weird. Like I meet rich people, for example, they have all the money, but then they are lonely or they're
Yeah.
afraid. And then I meet people who don't have, and they have different. But what I learned through all this observation and research, it's just we all have that. At one area is always missing. So the only way you can put together is, like I said, I came up with that conclusion of we all need to have trinity of abundance, meaning to connect 3 areas of your life, which is the spiritual side, because we all have to have something higher than us. And like I said, that's up to people where they want to be. And then you have yourself as individual, kind of like where you struggle. I'm not good enough or whatever. And then you have the third bucket, which is money. No matter what you say, money is not, bring you happiness, whatever excuse you make for yourself. The bottom line, money is something we need on a day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
So these three areas have to come together. You have to align with that purpose, which is the main goal, right? And so that's how. And with the neuro experience, now what I'm trying to do, I just kind of discuss, basically, I call it the currencies of life discussion. It's about anything: struggle with children, struggle in marriage, and just kind of bring up, I guess I will say, food for thought, right? I'm bringing up conversation so you can kind of look into, like, maybe this is where I'm struggling, and it is okay to struggle. It is okay to be in that position, and there is always a hope in the end of the tunnel, right? But the only person who can bring that light is you taking ownership for your own, like, feelings.
True.
Like, don't deny it. Don't, you have to look into it. And again, I'd say people are busy, being busy, but if you have a purpose and you connect the dots and you know how to meditate and stuff, it's all skill set. When I first started getting into learning in the spiritual world, because that was kind of my weakness bucket, when I asked people, hey, you go to church, can you tell me how to pray? And they're like, oh, just talk like you talk to your friend. And so, but what I learned, again, through a lot of book reading and researching, what I learned is actually prayer is a skill set. It's same as being able to cook. So if you don't like cook, we kind of like, I don't like cooking, so my food becomes like mediocre, cooking. Versus if chef cooks,
I mean,
if chef cooks,
it's
then
not
you have
compared to
this,
chef.
yeah, amazing. So it's same concept, like I say. I try to give analytical view from different angle, but I tell people you can pray to God or whoever you worship as you're talking to your friend. Then you're gonna have a mediocre lunch. But if you learn how to pray, then you will get that chef served life, because that's a wonderful steak versus my burnt steak.
Yeah, meditate on it. Really mean it and focus on what you really want. I think, because then you're just driving that passion behind the prayer. But it's just like, okay, God, I need this. Talk to you
Pretty
later.
much.
Right.
You
It's just in and out, right?
Bring it home.
Yeah, that's really cool. So tell people how they can find you, how they can find your podcast, and all that good stuff.
So, like I said, I am right now in the middle of updating my website, but all the information soon will be on my website called Your Savings Pro, which is my company name, Your Savings Pro. But you can always email me at miru@yoursavingspro, so I can just, share all the links with you, and of course you can always find me on social media. Miru Hunter McMahon. Just type MERU and then you'll find me, because I think I'm
probably the only one.
Only one in this area.
Yeah, I've never heard your name before until I met you. Unique, just like she is.
I love it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today, and I hope you guys got a lot out of that interview. You're an inspiration, and you just continue doing everything that you're doing, because a lot of people need to be educated on the holistic aspect of finance. So check out How to Enrich and Boost Your Currencies of Life When You Feel Stuck, Frustrated, or Unfulfilled. It even comes with a study guide, just in case you're not paying attention. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to have Jennifer Colmenares. So you guys stay tuned.
Thank you.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters. The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information. And my sort of mantra on the salsa dance floor is kind of similar. I tell somebody, if you make a mistake twice, it becomes a move. Okay,
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Welcome back to the Women's Empowerment segment here on Edge Radio TV Network. I am your host, Nicole Giddens. I have my co-host over here, Elle Brooke White. And we have our second guest here today. She is a holistic life coach, Jennifer Colmenares. So welcome to the show.
Hello,
We're
welcome.
so glad to have you today.
How are you doing?
So how was your Thanksgiving? I didn't ask anybody about their holiday.
Oh, I know. Mine was great. How was y'all's?
Family.
You got to see them, huh?
Yeah.
Did you have a lot? Did you follow the COVID rules?
We're on air.
Here, I'm like,
Yeah, we're in Texas.
Yes,
we're in the red
absolutely.
Republican
We're in Texas,
state.
so
We're okay.
We're all over the map.
We had
Like,
family Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we did
Yes.
too. We
Our
did too.
Easter
Guilty
was
as
rough
charged.
because
Oh, well, that's about right.
Easter was rough because we always are together for Easter, and so we did a Zoom Easter egg hunt. And
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's
it was
very
My
creative.
kids are 17 and 18
Oh,
at
so
the
that was
time,
okay.
so it was like,
Yeah.
okay, I was
They're like,
this
oh
is the
my
last
God,
one. We
already.
can't miss
You know,
it.
I didn't even think about Easter. My best friend, she came over and hid all the eggs and everything for my kids because we couldn't leave and I couldn't do anything, and I didn't even know until she called me and said, "Go walk outside." It was so memorable on Easter. My kids were so excited.
That is
so it was
sweet.
a good COVID Easter.
It
for
was.
us.
Amazing friend.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Thanks, Trace. Thank you.
Shout out to
You're a
Trace.
good friend.
Tracy.
You're number one.
It's Tracy. It's not Trace, but I call her that. So.
She knows who you're talking
She
about.
knows.
You're good.
Right.
You're good. So I have some icebreaker questions. So I'm going to
Okay.
ask you a
Yeah,
few.
yeah.
All right, here
What
we
we got?
go. If you were an animal, what would you be and why?
That's an interesting.
I already know.
My dog. I'm like an eagle. Like that's always kind of my go-to is just
to rule the skies and the seas and from above and to soar. But then I want to be something cuddly too.
She's like, so my dog is second.
I'm like, so yeah,
spoiled.
So yeah, my dog is second.
Great.
So
What is yours?
A tiger.
Oh, of course.
Because they don't take no shit. And they're cuddly.
Yeah, on their
Best
own
of
terms.
both worlds.
Best of both worlds over here.
Yes.
Okay, let's get the next one. Oh God, she's like Alexa Opsa. No, I'm just kidding. If you could be a guest star on any television show, what would it be? Who would you play?
Ooh. Well, okay, whose line is it anyway?
Oh, that's such a good one.
Oh,
no, yeah,
okay.
I love it.
Whose line is it anyway?
And you
Yes.
just play yourself.
I would just play myself.
I would be Housewives of Orange County.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
I'd be the girl in the mansion in the very back west.
Well-
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't know.
What would you go?
I don't know. I changed my mind.
She's like, ooh.
Wait, no, that's a really good
I don't
one.
want to be a housewife. I don't want to be that one. I don't know now. Maybe I don't know.
You can't think of like a fictional one?
Some Hallmark show that you want to be.
Yeah, like
What-
Mrs.
oh.
Claus.
No. Friends. I would
Oh,
love to be
there
on
we
Friends.
go.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes,
a good one.
Friends.
Yeah.
I would totally be me.
Okay,
On
what
Friends.
role would you play?
Me.
No, you gotta like pick a character.
Oh, Rachel.
Like I'd be Joey's girlfriend or
No. Red flag. Not Joey.
Joey was a pimp. Joey
He was a pimp. I'd be Rachel.
Okay,
She's
cool.
a pimp too.
You gotta come up with your own.
Funny, right?
Not being very original here, but neither is my housewife comment. Okay. If you could instantly learn any skill, like know it, just like that, what
Algebra.
would it be and why?
The knack of picking up foreign language.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is
Yes.
a good one.
Because then,
Oh, yes.
I mean, we're kind of limited as Americans
absolutely.
to what's translated. Like, I enjoy some Russian literature, and then even
Right.
finding it translated is
Mhm.
interesting. So,
That's true.
No,
yes.
that's a good
That's
one.
a very good one. Me, anything with math, I want to know it all. Because I hate it right now. I hate anything with math, but I would love to know, like, just be able to compute like the mathematicians do.
like,
'cause
see it and it just happen.
My dad can do all that stuff in his head, and I'm looking at him like, I don't know. I just, it doesn't compute with me like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get 100 in algebra, but I don't know.
Good answer. Good answer.
I really
Yeah.
love the language one though, because
No, that is
That
a
one's
very
just as
good
hard.
answer.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is a
and
good
just
answer.
to be able to broaden your knowledge base.
yeah, I agree with that one.
Okay, here's the last one. And I think I know what you're going to say because you said eagle. Would you rather be able to fly or be invisible?
Oh, now
Well, I
you
don't
stumped
know.
her.
Mhm.
You stumped her.
I'd
I
go
don't
for the
know.
invisible.
I'd be invisible.
I might
I'm
have to
nosy.
say.
I'm gonna be right there. I see you.
Everybody's up
I
to
see you.
See, that is like the only downside to being invisible is like I don't want people to say things that I don't want to hear.
But
So
you're invisible and you can hit them. Okay. Okay.
oh, there's recourse in your invisibility.
There
okay,
is.
okay. Yeah, that's a tough one. It goes back and forth. I maybe flying still, just because to be able to soar and go places that nobody's been before.
That's
Yeah.
cool, too.
I have dreams I can fly all the time, so I'm cool. Y'all have dreams
I
that you
follow
can
my
fly?
dreams.
I'm actively taking my dreams and journaling to
Ooh,
try
nice.
to control them and to understand them better.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That is
yeah.
so cool.
That is.
My 14-year-old son is doing that.
My dreams
Very
are wild.
cool.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to write them down. Write a book about them.
Yeah,
There you go.
And then burn it.
Daily affirmations. Just flip it. Daily
Before
affirmations of what
before
not
they
to
make me
do.
start taking medication. Okay, so let's get down to getting to know you before our first break. So you are a life coach. How long have you been doing that?
Forever.
Since
I
I was
mean,
5.
Well, I mean, I think about it honestly. I left home at 16, so I moved to a complete other state at the age of 17. To follow my passion of coaching, and at that point, it looked more like I was going to get my KDAC and my service hours to go into drug abuse counseling for adolescents and teens, my peers, you know, and kids 13, 14.
Right, starting out.
Lost. I mean, that's such a tough age.
It is.
So, yeah, forever. I mean, that's really kind of what has led me down this path, and knowing that I have this passion all along, you know, and later in life, you know, we stump it out. You know, we do mom, we do marriage, we do things like that. So coming back around, really, it took me finding myself again when my girls got older and understanding that I'm important, I'm enough, and that I just have to do it. Like, there's never a good time, and you're never going to be ready, and the fear is always going to be there.
Very true.
You just have to go through it and get to the other side, because it's amazing on the other side, and then you do it again, and then you get on the other side, and then you do it again. So it really has just been a process, but being so lost after investing so much into a marriage and into kids, and then knowing there's more, but wait, I'm not done, but according to society, I'm done. Like, so that double-edged sword there, which is the edginess of edgy entrepreneur, is I'm tired of making excuses. You know, I'm tired of making excuses, and you don't have to. You can really have it all.
What a mature 16-year-old doing a drug abuse counseling. Like, did you have anything happen to you, or were you just empathetic for people's situations, seeing how it's destroying our society on a daily basis? Or
me, I'm like, I was in it.
Yeah.
You know, it was 12 and 13, just lost. That's such a tough age. Your hormones and your emotions, and then you've got, and this is back then. This isn't, you know, social media
added on with what we have now,
and everything that's added on now. So, I didn't want other people to feel like that. I didn't want other people to listen to that voice in their head.
The overthinking,
self-medicate. Anxiety, try to coat their anxieties, and
anxiety is true. There's so much, and fear.
Oh, anxiety is
fear and anxiety is it's you stay in that fight or flight mode. You know,
definitely if you've been through traumas as a child. I mean, it's always with you.
Yeah.
I mean, the fight or flight a lot of times.
Yeah. So it was when I kind of got introduced to this group and saw these opportunities, I rose up through the ranks in their process, and yeah, I loved these kids. Like, I wanted them to have hope. I wanted to show them that there was something different. So here I am. I'm later in life, same thing.
I love that. And I love what you do for entrepreneurs. And someone was asking me about the guest that I was having on today. And when I described you, I said, you know, she ignites the passion that drove that entrepreneur to make the decision to have their own business for themselves. Because they, you know, as an entrepreneur, you don't have anybody to answer to. So to have a coach to come kind of slap you on the butt and say you're number one, and push you back out there and motivate you again. You know what I mean? I think that you take a very vital role in helping people that own their own business. It's difficult.
It is. I'm a business owner, and it is because it got cold, and I was like, I don't want to go nowhere. I mean, seriously, and I had to
clock in.
I mean, it rained. I was like, my hair. You know, that's how bad it is. You don't have to, because no one's gonna be mad at you. But yourself. Like,
write yourself up.
Well,
go to work.
But then on that note, you start beating yourself up. So when you're not showing up and you're not being the leader, then you know that takes a toll on you. So then you're not showing up in your business because you're not showing up for yourself.
Very true.
So that's the holistic aspect of, you know, what I do and what I love.
Yeah, focusing your energy on positive vibrations, because there is a negative energy that can surround you that wants you to be reluctant and, you know, put it off so that you will beat yourself up about it later. It's crazy. It can be a vicious cycle. Well, we are going to go on break, and we're going to dive in a little bit more into this. So you guys stay tuned. We'll see you in a minute.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Welcome back to Women's Empowerment here at Edge Radio TV Network. We have our guest here, Jennifer Colmenares, and she is a holistic life coach. She was sharing a little bit of her journey that started at a very young age of 16 years old, where she found a true passion to help people in substance abuse, and then it just spun on to helping now women in business, men in business, anybody in business.
Pain.
Well,
Pain and fear.
yeah, you can help anybody then.
Yeah.
Because everybody
So it's
got
not
that.
just solely for the entrepreneur.
That really is my passion.
Yeah.
Yes, that is my passion, because entrepreneurship is a lifestyle.
Yes.
And so many of us, we go into it with this grandiose vision of
do.
what we want it to be and look like, and then we get in the thick of it, and it's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's hard.
We make
Yeah.
it look pretty, but it's
difficult.
hard.
There's all these little moving pieces.
All of
that
them. Don't talk about taxes. Don't talk about taxes.
moving pieces.
I did all that.
So yeah, so I really have, it was put on my heart, just a holistic, because I also like not only counseling, but another path that my girls have and my daughters led me down was I was a therapist for 13 years, a massage therapist. I had them with a midwife, and that led me down the holistic path, really, to find, and nurture myself. So how do I bring that in with, what I want to do? Because I know I'm not wired to work for anybody else. I'm like, I know.
I've done it, but
Yes. I'm like, and so it's bringing in the entrepreneurship and balancing that lifestyle with having a life, having, a family and
Doing it
that
all.
time and doing it all. But then how to really run a business as well, grow a business and be sustainable into the future. I want you to be around.
right. We want your business to
Yes.
go. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when someone comes to you for help, for guidance, for assistance, for therapy, for whatever they need, what type of evaluation do you incorporate with your practice?
We look at you as a whole first, kind of just, a general evaluation. Where are you in life? Where are you in business? And what do you want? Because my success is going to be different from your success. So I really tailor and customize to who I'm working with. What do we need? What aspects? So first off, we go through the GAP principles. Measure your life in these areas. How are you doing in your relationship? How are you doing in your finances? How are you doing in family life? What are your goals? What are your visions? How's your health? Where are you taking care of yourself? So we measure all of that, and then we consult. We build the vision together, and we break out the plan and the steps and the action steps, and we just write it together. We write your story together, and we're on the journey to what your success is going to look like.
So it's just creating that dialogue and then answering all those analytical questions and then diving into why the answers were the way they were. Do you do any types of meditation, or what's some of the modalities that you incorporate?
Absolutely. Great question, because plugging in to our higher self is so key. And that really is where this journey of entrepreneurship took off for me. When I realized that my quiet time is so important, and that when I start with that, I call it my miracle morning, and my habit stacking, so it starts with my meditations, getting plugged in first thing, and movement, being in touch with your body, being in touch with yourself, and feeding myself from the inside out. What am I taking in? What am I listening to? What am I watching? As well as,
because it'll make you overthink when you watch certain things. I mean, yeah, that's true. All of that.
That's why I do not watch the news.
I hate the news.
I'm not gonna start my day off watching all this stuff.
I don't know how people
right
do
now.
that.
I already know.
I know it'll make it
I don't
just change
need to know.
instantly.
Put my mask on before I go into the
I
store.
I got my mask.
Yes. Yeah.
I forgot mine today.
It was interesting. I just did an interview series this past Wednesday, and I pulled together 5 people in our community who I see as leaders that influenced me in my growth and my business and building a stable foundation. What does that look like? And everybody, like, the conversation was so crazy and so beautiful, how it took a turn to spirituality and a morning routine. Everybody had a solid morning routine, and they spent time getting connected.
Yeah.
It's very important. I was having a panic attack one time, so I just started looking up meditation online, and I found this one. It was this one guy. It was the St. Francis prayer, and he walked you through also different concepts and just praying to God. And it's so janky. It's not even like very professional sounding or anything, but I remember listening to that. And so now that's like my go-to. Like, I have the link on my phone, and it is so janky. You can even hear like a cat meow in the background, like at the very end. But I love this guy.
I love cats. I needed it. He was there for me.
I love his voice. There was just something about that given moment that I just needed to figure out something to calm me down. And that's the first thing that I found. And so I went through it, and it did. It calmed me down. So now it's like, oh my God, if I lose that link, I'd probably be kind of sad a little bit. I think that, as long as we're focusing on something to give, for ourselves, because we get too involved in ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, you
we
can't
need
do it
to
all.
give to others. We came here to give to others,
Yes.
Get out of self,
Right.
take care of self,
Right.
but get out of self,
Right.
and then find your purpose.
Very true.
And that's where the entrepreneurial leads back to, because here you are, you've got to take care of yourself because you are your business. So your business, it's not a job, it's a lifestyle. And in order to be successful in that business and do your best so that you can serve those people that you were meant to serve, it really has to be your passion. You've got to be at your best and showing up as a leader for yourself, so that you're showing up as a leader in your business, so that you're fueling that passion to get up in the morning.
Yes.
So want to go to work because you're taking care of yourself and you're building something that is serving at your highest purpose. So,
and check in and make sure that you're not just doing it to be greedy.
Well,
That'll make you miserable.
It will make you miserable, because sometimes I feel like I work way too hard.
Well, or even
and
not
then I'm greedy about it. I feel like I'm greedy because I'm like, I'll take all the jobs. Yes, they gave them to me. I'll take them all. And then I'm like, well, I have to take time out of my day too. Like, I have to not work as much as I could. I know I can do it. Everyone knows I can do it, but I got to take time for my family and separate, because that's the part of it that makes it go to.
Yes.
Because you can't pick one over the other. No. You can't, it has to be even and equal.
Yes.
You can't turn back time when your kids are growing up.
And that's another thing. You miss all this time. Yeah. I mean, you do. And you justify it as you're taking care of your children and you're raising them and you're providing for them, but they're growing up while you're at work.
Exactly.
And it is difficult.
And who's taking care of them at that point? Social media? That's
no, not mine.
Area.
And that's and so true. And how do you balance that? Because
it's difficult.
It did. 2013 was it was a crazy year. I wanted to do it all. I'm like, I did the yearbook for their school and launched my, graphic design business strategist, coach business, and it was a lot. It was a lot. So how to do that and not have mom guilt?
It's a true thing.
Or dad guilt.
Mom
you know,
guilt
I'm like, we all have it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to sacrifice. There really is. And I think communication is so key with your children.
Yes. Now, I do that with my girls. They know, because I am a single mom, so I'm the only parent.
Yeah.
And they know.
Yeah.
But they understand. But they also know I'm going to take time out of my work. I can do that. I've worked all this. I'm gonna take time, and we're going to take days.
Yes.
You know, and they know that too. But they are very understanding, I guess you can say. And it kind of sucks that they have to be understanding about it, but it is. You roll with what you know.
Say that, but I think, what are they exposed to elsewhere? I mean, I think it's part of the evolution.
Yeah, I mean, they're learning as I'm working. I can tell you that they're going to be hard workers.
Well, yeah, you're putting out a good, you know, a good idea of what they should live their life like and how they can be independent women themselves.
And they told me they want to be vets and dentists, and I said yes, because I need both of those in my family. Just saying, for free. Don't think you're charging me.
Right.
All the animals in the world.
How old are your girls?
17 and 18.
Okay, so they're almost out of the house.
Oh, a junior and a senior.
Oh my gosh. So do you think you'll get that empty nest syndrome?
No. We've been just kind of a separate. We have an interesting family dynamic as it is. Their dad and I separated when they were a year and a half old, so we've co-parented, and just it's been beautiful.
Good for y'all.
So when they were teenagers, and I was looking at what am I going to do and where am I going to go in business, they wanted to be under one roof. So they've lived with their dad, which is such a blessing in teenage years. I really mean that sincerely, just so y'all know. I mean that, girls. I love y'all.
God created the teenager mentality and attitude so that we would be ready for them to leave when it was time to go.
But it's really been so beautiful. I think it's also fostered this relationship that there's so much communication, and I see them as people. I don't see them necessarily as, my mini-me's that must do what I say and whatnot. It's fostered this beautiful and blossomed into, they're amazing girls. Like,
I love that.
I have girls too. So.
Yes.
So tell people how they can find you.
So Jen Coleman Ayers on Facebook. The best way to find me is at Mind Your Business Talk on Facebook. That's my Facebook group. So join the Facebook group and then message me, DM me there, and we'll connect that way. And I would love to hear from you. I'm also rolling out a course in my meditation this morning that came to me, the 7 successful habits, 7 spiritual success habits. So I'm looking.
Love it.
We'll have to be looking for that. 26th of December. So I'm going to take us through the new year.
Okay, great. Well, you guys check it out and stay tuned for us next time. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.